Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. And we are live, it seems. Welcome to PK Throw. I am your host, as always, Mr. Purple, and I am here to give you the up-to-date analysis on Genesis 5 and talk about a variety of other subjects. Now, I want to not only talk about Genesis, but I'm going to talk about stuff such as Zero's retirement, the off-season tournaments we've recently had, a special announcement about my own personal Smash career, an analysis of something PG Dom said on Twitter, the analysis of Kumite in Tennessee that happened a couple weeks ago that I did an episode for, and then we will get to the Genesis 5 review. So first off, we're going to talk about Zero's retirement. Zero's retirement was obviously a huge deal for the Smash scene. It's completely changed how everyone's going to pick this year. And I think a lot of people said it's going to be really boring because you're not going to have everyone trying to be Zero anymore. But I actually think it's going to be just as interesting. I think we're going to start developing a melee kind of sense where we have like a God's dynamic, like a top 5 player organization where we're going to be wondering who's going to come out on top. Now, a lot of people seem to favor Salem right now, who as he's number 2, it seems like a fair choice. But I also think that the other 4 people to watch out for will probably be Nairo, MKLeo, the Buzz, and I would say the 5th is probably a big concept I'm unsure about. I kind of want to say Tweak, but also Larry Lure is not a bad option. And Ally has come out really strong to start coming into this season due to that PAX performance. So, I feel like with Zero's retirement, we're losing a great one, but I think there's big competition. I'm going to choose a number 1 right now, before the season even starts, which sounds absolutely crazy, and I know that I'll probably be wrong. I really want to say that it's going to be Nairo. I know that Nairo got 3rd this year, he's not the 2nd best player, he's got a Bracket Demon in Salem, he has a Bracket Demon in Tweak. He has a lot of challenges he's going to have to face throughout this season. I feel that Genesis 5 will be a strong start, and I really think that Nairo is going to push himself to possibly be the number 1 player to replace his friend. Between Nairo and I would say probably number 2 that I would be talking about is the Buzz. The Buzz is Mr. Consistency. Everyone knows it. He always seems to place like top 5 at any event. He's always there to win when he shows up. And I think now, more than ever, he is going to show up and he's going to show that he is in line to possibly be the number 1 player. Now, the next subject that I probably want to talk about is going to be PAX South. I feel like PAX was a pretty big event and had a lot of discussion, honestly. At PAX South, there was a lot of talk about should this be on the PGR, and a lot of top players feels unfair. And I think Swar in the game did a really good job handling the situation. They said it's not going to be PG, they said when the off dates were, and they now added in something to PGR 5 that I'm very happy about. The announcement that invitational events no longer count near the ledge. It's crazy that it wasn't like this before. When you think about it, you have local tournaments and it's like, oh, there's an Arcadian, but it doesn't count for your local PR. Or there's an invitational only event, but it's going to count towards your local PR. The fact of the matter is, a lot of people were just saying that we couldn't have our a lot of people were saying at locals that it was like, oh, this isn't going to count. And then when they go to the PGR, they're like, oh, yeah, it's going to count, right? But I feel like that was pretty unfair. Like, putting up the 2GC championship was kind of understandable at the time because it had a lot of variety on it. But they're not doing that again, so that's not going to be an issue. But PAX South really great performances by Ally and Cosmos. I will say Ally is a bit more surprising expecting to be
He did that up smash below
I
90%
seems to have been on the
too. That
decline
is very
ever
shocking
since
to
his
see.
I
Sheik fail so early. I feel like
ranked
the Sheik
15th in the world
metagame
now, I
is
believe,
advancing
somewhere roughly around there.
more.
And I feel like that he's really coming out to show something, and I think with Zero being gone, he is coming out to prove that he might be lying to be the number one player, or at least an arguable number one player.
For Javi to get anything going, the only thing
a lot of people have come to the season saying that Cosmos may be top 10 by the TGR.
Javi's in a little bit of
and
trouble. A lot of
buying
trouble,
it.
actually. Definitely in the
Cosmos
range
went out there and put on a great performance.
Sam likes to catch people, but perhaps getting caught off guard himself.
I mean, that's insane. I can't wait to see how Cosmos performs this season and brings the scoring matchup to its highest level.
So close, not really if you look at those stocks.
So let's see, with the next subject, PG Dom made a tweet the other day saying that he believes that, well, not saying that he believes, asking people what they think about who's going to be next on the PGR next season, on a new face. That notable new faces, we had Big Zero Mistake and Cosmos already mentioned. And I feel like there are two players that I think will have a really good shot at being the next add-on to the PGR. And I think the first one that I really want to bring up is Matty G. Matty G was someone that I thought was going to make the PGR this past season. He has done a great job at many events. He is number 4 New England. He got 13th at Super Smash Con, 17th at Shot.
Especially light.
He got 17th at
Matty G.
Oh, he got
Matty G
7th
representing DMG. He had the best videos in the biz.
He got
Damage Matty G. Oh, Jesus! Yo, Burgers, where you at? Add that to the next combo video. That was actually disgusting. All right. Yo, so I love that Matty G's rocking that tag and that he just destroyed light like that.
Yeah, so I think that Matty G has a really good shot at making PGR next year. He does a really good job against light. Like,
just over 30 seconds in, this match could also be over pretty soon. Yeah, but light, an extremely explosive player.
And I really think that he has a good shot at making it. He has notable wins over Mars,
style.
he's
definitely going to have to hold on to his limit as well as possible. He definitely want to make sure he has that recovery option just in case, especially if he doesn't want to get hit by forward air foot school, doesn't want to hit by dare, anything to potentially kill Cloud earlier. So wants to hold on. You can still kill Cloud even if he has no. That's true, yeah. It's not foolproof.
You got 5th at Gommel, 33rd at Super Smash.
Ooh, and another downer. Matty G getting so much mileage off of that.
At Canada Cup.
And the up airs as well have just been absolutely.
I really feel like that.
This is looking like
these two players
talking
are
the
really
making.
good
No, he's going to just throw his limit out. Oh, he should have done it. He should have just killed him. But it might have been the outer hitbox that caused a B, and that would have been technical for light. So smart by Matty G, keeps hedging his bets, hanging onto that stock.
So before we get to the big
Genesis 5 review, at that point in the move, but was able to just try
to give a special announcement, I just want to say I'm attending MomoCon this year. I moved out of Georgia in mid to late June, and I gotta say, this is gonna be my first time going back to Georgia, and I'm really excited. I'm gonna see some of my old friends from high school. I'm gonna be able to see all my Smash friends. I really am excited to try my best at this performance. It's probably going to be my first national of this year. I don't know how many nationals I'm going to get to this year, but I'm really hoping to put on a good showing at this one, assuming this is a national, of course. I know Combo Breaker, I believe, is the same weekend as MomoCon, which isn't great, but we'll see how that plays out. I hope MomoCon's as big as it was last year, because this will be my first personally. But yeah, I'm really excited to attend MomoCon. I'm going to be with my friend Lemon Cake and King Catan. And I might do doubles, I might not. I haven't really decided on anything like that yet. I'm definitely doing Smash 4 singles, so I hope to see you all there. So for our Kumite in Tennessee review, I want to first give a shout out to Wrath, #1 player in Georgia. He didn't
Game 1 of FD, let us find out. Grand finals, ladies and gentlemen.
And Pugwash starting out strong with that dancing blade.
I also want to say another notable player
find that way in.
Rosa gets fit. The number 8
Pugwash, who has seen several Sonics through his way to top 8, he definitely knows what to expect at this point.
He's definitely been a Sonic-filled tournament.
I look forward to seeing him more in the future.
So Pugwash has definitely had his fair share.
Nice dancing blade there to get a little bit of damage. They're 20% here for Sonic. And Marth still clean.
Good shield pressure from Wrath. And eventually gets that hit, but Pugwash answers with an up air of his own, and then a forward air.
Sending him skyward,
I will say that
50%, but Wrath's going to start getting a little bit of damage of his own here.
Putting on a good show.
That was a good tipper forward air from Pugwash, but that whiffed up,
really
up
did.
tilt,
Had,
letting Wrath get
losses
back
to
to stage
Thunder
and
G,
punishing him.
Alabama, and another player named Big Lee.
Still anyone's game here, trying to approach with Dancing Blades, but he will approach with forward air. Forward air off stage here for Pug West.
Ooh, a beefy up B. No punish from Pug West as Wrath air dodges his way on the stage.
Good friend of mine, well, not a good friend, a friend I know, and I wanted to congratulate him on his new.
And again with the Dancing Blade, such a good tool against characters that need to get in, and Sonic is one of those characters.
And they started third.
Wrath getting right back up the stage, but the Dolphin sending Sonic back out to the air.
Ooh, trying to call it that spin dash with a forward smash.
And
then Kaz misses, but nice air dodge by Pug West.
At the door registration. So I think it's a chance to rank them.
Pug West throwing out these moves, trying to let them hit, but they're just barely missed space, allowing Wrath to get in freely. Forward air, 130. Not the tipper though, won't do it. Ooh, the spring hits. And yeah, that back air will take that stock.
Wrath up one stock here, but one tipper could make this match even.
Ooh, gets that down tilt. Wrath is coming back though.
Nice back here for Pug West.
Who's a Meta Knight, number 2, Memphis, Silver Soul,
come on, Pug West. He's looking for that kill right now. Wrath's not giving
for Wrath. Wrath not letting Pug West get back to the stage, but he finally gets there. Nice homing attack. Gets a little bit of space.
I think I've been talking long enough about all these other issues and stuff like that, and I think it's time that we discuss Genesis 5. Now, I'm not going to be showing a video during this. I want you to be able to see my spreadsheet. You have to see my thinking. Now, this list that's right here on your page right now is solely just round one of pools. There is no real notable upsets here, no real big names here that I feel there's a need to mention. I just put the pool they were in and who they beat and then where they would go after the fact. There was no PGR upsets here. If you remember, I believe it was EVO last year, there weren't really any PGR upsets in round one of pools. I feel like I almost wasted my time to an extent doing this, but I felt like it'd be interesting just to make sure I do a thorough, in-depth analysis of that. So I'm going to talk more about round 2 of pools, more so. I will say when making this, the first time I made it, Wadi was going. The second time I made it, Wadi wasn't going. And then Wadi just announced that Alphared has got him out there to Genesis 5. I'm glad Wadi's going. A lot of redoing on my part of redoing the system and all that. But I will now be going over, starting with pool H7. All the red symbolizes the upsets, and I'll mainly just be talking about the upsets and what happens in the winner's side, but I may mention other notable matchups. So I will say that MKLeo versus Black Twins, MKLeo I feel would win. Conga versus Pax being the Sonic from Europe. I have Conga winning, Cosmos being Shinji, the Pac-Man, who did really well at Orion recently, and Lima being Icy Mist, those former Naifu battles taking place in the real world. And then MKLeo versus Conga on the winners finals of round 2 pools was really a toss-up for me. I know MKLeo suffers a lot in the matchups against DK and Bowser, and I feel that this will continue, but looking at my sets between MKLeo and Conga, I'm pretty sure I only found one set. But MKLeo did take it 3-2, so I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to Leo and say he's going to take it. Other one is Cosmos versus Lima. I just feel Cosmos is the better player at the time. I feel Cosmos is Corrin is a pretty solid counter to Bayonetta at the time. So I'm definitely going to go with Cosmos in this matchup as well. On loser's side, the final matches I had were Lima versus Black Twins for one match. And that one I gave to Lima. I mean, he's the PGR player, so I think he's a better player, and I think Bayonetta will take his cloud out pretty easily. Now, the upset that I have for H7 is in the Conga versus Icy Mist matchup. Icy Mist doesn't get out to a lot of tournaments, which may be why he's not PGR ranked, but I feel that Icy Mist could put on a strong showing this season if he gets out the tournaments. I know that this tournament he got out because of the the Key to Genesis. I don't know if it was called the Key to Genesis. That whole Wi-Fi tournament thing on Smash GG where they did like every Wi-Fi tournament qualified for this circuit in order to get flown out the Genesis 5 and housing. And Icy Mist won this tournament by a large margin. And I feel Icy Mist will go put on a good showing here, especially against Konga. I feel like the Samus DK matchup, though DK could easily take it, I feel that Icy Mist could do a good job of spacing out Konga and taking this PGR win. So going on to H8, I have DeBuzz versus Meteor. DeBuzz is going to beat Meteor, the Sonic player. AC versus Xax is the first upset I have here. Now, AC and Xax haven't played since Abadango's Saga, which was a very long time ago. Well, at least that was the last time they played on stream that I have recorded on YouTube. And Xax did take it over AC's Falco. Now, AC has gone Meta Knight since then, but I feel Xax is really on track to show himself as a PGR player. And I feel like this could be the beginning. I mean, I know AC is only number 50 on the PGR, but a PGR win's a PGR win. I think Xax will take it over AC's Meta Knight. Captain Zack versus Brood, the Duck Hunt, and I think Captain Zack will take that. And Raito versus Chag, the #1 Bayo in Mexico, I'm going to say Raito takes that. So not a lot of big things there. DeBuzz versus Xax, I feel that's a no-brainer. I'm taking DeBuzz there. DeBuzz, Mr. Consistency. And then Captain Zack versus Raito, I actually had to think about this one a tiny bit. I mean, Captain Zack, I just had being Brood, and now I'm playing Raito. I know a lot of people don't have familiarity with the Duck Hunt matchup, but I'm going to give Captain Zack the benefit of the doubt and say that due to Duck Hunt's bad recovery and so forth, that Captain Zack will have the advantage in this matchup and move on winner's side of top 32. On loser's side, I have AC versus Raito, which I'm going to give the Raito. I don't think AC is experienced enough in order to win that kind of matchup. And then my other upset for H8 is Chag versus Xax. I have Chag taking that. I know that Chag did not put on the best performance at PAX South, and I put my faith in him for that tournament, and he definitely did not come out to do as I predicted, but that's completely okay. I think he's going to put on a top 32 showing at this tournament, though. I think he's going to take out Xax and make it the top 32. I don't have anything really to support that. I don't think they've ever played before, but I think the Bayo versus Fox, I'd give it to Bayo every day of the week. Moving on to I2, I have Nairo versus Shadow PR, the Bayo from Texas. I have Nairo winning that. Eon versus Legit, I have Eon winning. Samsora versus Karna. Samsora destroyed Karna last time they played, so I'm going to give it to Samsora. And then my upset is MVD versus Supergirl Kells. I talked about Supergirl Kells being next on the PGR V5. I think Supergirl Kells takes this game. I believe that it was DreamHack Montreal where Supergirl Kells beat MVD in a 3-1 set. Now, it almost went to Game 5, but Supergirl Kells got a lucky early kill off of, I think it was Dreamland, with a Sonic up air. You know, that kind of Sonic Gimps grab, throw, up air with the spring and all that. And I think Supergirl Kells will probably take this again. MVD, I know I never give him enough credit, but I'm going to continue to not give him enough credit because I think he still needs to prove his Diddy Kong worldliness. Now, he may be arguably the best Diddy Kong in Smash now, but I'm still going to give it to Supergirl Kells. And then we got Nairo versus Eon. I'm going to give Nairo the benefit of the doubt here and say he's going to take it. I mean, he plays Larry Lure all the time, so he should have that. And then Samsora versus Supergirl Kells. I'm going to give Samsora the edge. I don't really see Supergirl Kells winning that, and I think Peach does a pretty decent job with Sonic. On loser side, we got Supergirl Kells versus Legit. I'm going to give that to Supergirl Kells. And then Eon versus MVD, I'm going to give that to MVD. I think those are pretty straightforward. In I2 pools, I have a lot more upsets here, and it's the beginning of where I talk about the player that I think is going to be the player to watch this tournament. I have Larry Lure beating Sean, but the player to watch, I think, is going to be Locust. Locust, the Ryu player who just missed out on the PGR this year. He was in the Area 51 area this year. He was number 20 last year. I don't think he got out to enough tournaments, and when he did, I don't feel like he had enough confidence or enough play time to really show himself. So, I'm going to say Locust beats Javi. They played at WNF 2.5, and I think Locust 3-0 Javi. And I really like the Ryu versus Sheik matchup. It's like I like Ryu versus Sheik, and I like Sheik versus Bayonetta. Those are two matchups that I really think are good for the characters. And I think Locust is going to take this game over Javi. Esam versus TLTC, the #1 Palutena on the new Palutena rankings. Esam's going to take that. And then another upset I have is this one is a long shot for me because I really like Aardvark as a player. I think Aardvark is a very good villager player, and I'm going to say he beats Fatality. I love Griffin and all that, but I feel that Villager has a really good matchup against Captain Falcon here. So I'm going to say Aardvark. I don't have any real video evidence of them playing in the past to support it, but I'm just going to give it up to Aardvark here, and we'll see what happens. I think Fatality could easily win it as well, but I'm going to say the matchup just makes me feel like Aardvark's going to have a shot. And then another upset for Locust. I think he beats Larry Lur. As I said, Ryu versus Fox. It is another matchup that I really don't think goes well for Fox. I'm pretty sure Fox players can agree. I think one of the last times that Larry Lur played Locust, he had to go DK, and then he still got beat anyway. And I think Locust won against Larry Lur at DreamHack Austin, but then Larry Lur beat him at WNF 2.2. But that game went to Game 5, and Locust just did really bad in that last game. I think Larry only took 22% on Game 5 of that game. But I'm going to give it to Locust and say he goes out on winner's side of top 32. And then Esam versus Aardvark, I'm going to give up to Esam. I don't feel like Aardvark's going to continue his streak here. And then on loser's side, it's Aardvark versus Javi, and I'm going to give up to Javi. I think Javi's just a better player. I think he just knows more matchups than Aardvark. And then the other one, which is a really sad face-off based on my bracket, is Larry Lur versus Fatality, the match from Momocon. And I'm going to give it to Larry Lur. I know that Fatality won that Momocon matchup, and then since then at 2GGC, Larry Lur took it back from Fatality. Fatality was on a decline this past season, and I don't know if I see things looking up yet. I really hope he proves me wrong, but I really feel like that Fatality is obviously focusing more on his streaming job, and I feel like that really hurts some people's Smash 4 playing. And I know that he's streaming Smash 4, but I feel like that focusing on his streaming has somewhat declined his play. So I'm going to give it to Larry Lur for now, and we'll see how that goes. In I3, I have no true upsets. I have Wadi beating Twee, Fallen beating Yumeki, Mr. R beating Cosmosis, and Zenyu beating Calculus. Yes, Calculus is a Bayonetta player from Utah that I personally like watching a lot. I don't know about other people, but I feel that Calculus could put on a good performance, but I'm not 100% confident. I had him making top 32 when I took Wadi out of bracket, but that's obviously because he was in Wadi's pool, so that gave him a better shot at making it. But I have him getting 33rd now. But I really like Calculus as a Bayonetta player, #4 in Utah. Definitely a Bayonetta to watch this season, just to see if he gets out to more tournaments that I really like. And then Wadi versus Fallen, I gave it to Wadi. I think Wadi's going to do really well. Mr. R versus Zenyu, Mr. R, because after that one tournament where Zenyu got basically 9% on Mr. R, I just can't even imagine Zenyu winning that game. And then on losers, I have Zenyu versus Yumeki and Zenyu making it out. And Fallen versus Calculus. This is tough for me not to let Calculus go on, but I think Fallen's just going to take it. So let me make sure I don't have anything in the chat real quick. Nope, just making sure. Okay. Now we're going to go to the J1. We got no upsets in J1 either. I have Tweak beating DKHO, K9's Bruce beating Stroder, Elegant beating Saki, and Tyroy beating Rio. Then I have Tweak beating K9 Bruce, Elegant beating Tyroy. On losers, I have Tyroy beating DKHO, and K9 Bruce beating Saki. Nothing really special about that one. J2, I do have another upset. I have Void beating Saj, 6WX beating Razo, Ally beating Bestness, and then my upset is going to be Darkshot losing to Rich Brown. Now, this one's really interesting. Rich Brown, previously PGR, now off the PGR, didn't get out to a lot of tournaments this past season, I don't feel like, and never really showed himself. He's kind of been declining as a Mewtwo player. not as most one of the well-knowns anymore. But I feel like he's going to beat Darkshot here because they previously played at Midwest Mayhem 8, and it came down to a last hit of Game 5, where Rich Brown took, and I feel that the Mewtwo versus Ryu matchup is even, if not in Mewtwo's favor. So I really like to see Rich Brown come out and start showing himself to possibly be a top 32 player again. And then in winners finals of this pool, I have Void versus 6WX with Void winning, and I have Ally versus Rich Brown with Ally taking that game over Rich Brown. And in loser side, I have Rich Brown versus Saj, and I actually have Rich Brown beating Saj, the Bayonetta player, and then 6WX versus Darkshot, and I'm going to say 6WX takes it over Darkshot. I'm pretty sure 6WX has won the majority of their sets in the past, and I think Sonic is a pretty decent matchup against Ryu. And the final pool before we get to top 32, J3. I have one upset in this pool as well. I have Salem beating Lucifer, Charlie the King beating Captain L, Mistake beating 8-Bit Man, and Anti beating Pink Fresh. Then I have Salem beating Charlie the King. And then I have Mistake upsetting Anti. No, Anti upsetting Mistake, excuse me. Now, if you all remember Gomble 2017, the big tournament that Anti won, everyone loved seeing Anti pop off at that tournament, and I absolutely loved it as well. And I think Anti has been practicing a ton for this tournament. I think Anti, under the Immortals team, is going to try to burn through this bracket. I think I would really like to see Anti show off his Mario stuff, and this could be his tournament to really put out a good top 16 performance to start the season, solidify his spot on the PGR early. And then on losers, we have a Mistake versus Captain L. I say Mistake takes that. And Charlie the King versus Pink Fresh. I give that to Charlie. So now top 32. This is the one I'm going to talk about a bit more. There's a few upsets in this one, but not a lot of huge ones. First off, we got MKLeo versus Cosmos, and I'm going to give that to Cosmos. You know, at VGBC, Cosmos took a 2-0 win over MKLeo. I really like how Cosmos plays, and I think MKLeo just hasn't figured it out. I mean, MKLeo plays Corrin himself, and if he gets beat that badly, it's not a for sure thing for MKLeo, I feel like, anymore against some of these PGR players. And I also remember MKLeo versus Cosmos at MSM 124. Winners Finals, Cosmos took it, I don't remember if it was 3-1 or 3-2, but Cosmos took that pretty hard, and then MKLeo won that tournament in the end by resetting the bracket, I believe. So I understand there's a bit of a back and forth there, but I would say at a first shot battle, I would give it to Cosmos. If they would play again in losers, I'd probably give it to MKLeo for the adaption reason. Next we have Wadi versus Mr. R, which I gave to Wadi. I feel Wadi is definitely headed toward top 10 at this point. I don't know for sure, but I feel like he's heading toward top 10. And I feel like Mewtwo versus Sheik is just a really tough matchup for Sheik, because Mewtwo has such great kill power, and also a great ability of air dodge and moving around the stage that could really throw off Sheik combos. Next I have DeBuzz versus Captain Zack, which I gave to DeBuzz. I feel that DeBuzz, Mr. Consistency, I've said it a million times already today, I think he has a pretty good shot at being Captain Zack. Now, I understand that if he doesn't get the DI right, he's going to get killed early, but I would give it to DeBuzz to really try to push through this tournament. Next, I have Locust versus Esam, which I have another upset predicted for Locust, in which he wins again in order to take out his second PGR player for the day, and his second top 20 player. No, top 21. I forgot Esam didn't make top 20. But yeah, I'm going to give it to Locust. They played at a DreamHack Austin, and I think Locust took it 3-2? I can't remember for sure, but I really like Locust to beat Esam and his Pikachu, so look out for that one. Salem versus Anti, I gave that to Salem. I don't think Anti is very good against Bayonettas most of the time, though I did have him being a mistake and really showing himself up at this tournament. Void versus Ally, I gave to Void. I don't think Ally is 100% there yet on being a top player, and I feel that Void Sheik does a really good job of countering Ally's type of Mario. Nairo versus Samsora, I think that's clearly Nairo. I don't think Samsora will stand much of a chance. And Tweak versus Elegant, there was no footage on this. I don't know if they've played before because I couldn't find anything and I couldn't find any videos. But I'm going to give that one to Elegant. I think Elegant put on a really good showing against MK Leo's Cloud, and I understand that Tweak's Cloud beats MK Leo. But I'm going to say Elegant takes this, gets some good gimps out there, and moves on, trying to get himself finally pushed into that top 10. Lima versus Charlie the King, I gave it to Lima. I know Charlie is an up-and-coming Fox, but I really think Bayonetta is a good matchup against Fox. Zenyu versus 6WX, I gave the 6WX. I think Sonic's a good matchup against Mario, and I think 6WX is just a better player. Raito versus MVD. MVD has a pocket duck hunt, don't forget about that. So maybe he gets up early, we see a double duck hunt, or if he gets down, we can see double duck hunt. I'd love to see MVD come out and do that. But I'm going to give it to MVD because I feel like the ability of Duck Hunt to recover onto the stage is pretty weak against Diddy Kong. Larry Lur versus K9's Bruce. I'm going to give it to Larry Lur. They play each other at least often enough. They're from the same general region, and I think Larry Lur is just going to continue what he does against K9 and with Fox and win. Mistake versus Icy Mist was a tough one for me. If you remember Naifu Wars World War II, I believe it was, when Mistake and Icy Mist played in the finals to send one of the players to, I want to say Evo, but I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. But I believe it was Naifu World War II when they played. And Icy Mist was on winner's side, and Mistake came in, and I think it went to game 10, and Mistake took it. So I really think that Mistake will continue on this and beat Icy Mist here to try to regain momentum after his disappointing PAX South performance. For Fallen versus Rich Brown, I'm going to give that to Fallen. I don't think Rich Brown's that good yet. Now, he did make top 32 at this tournament, but I don't think he's on the rise, that high of a rise, to beat Fallen. Supergirl Kells v Chag, two non-PGR players playing off in order to get a spot at least 17th place, which I thought was interesting, but that's just how the bracket rolls sometimes. And I had Chag taking this. I don't know Supergirl Kel's experience of Bayonetta, but I know Chag is #1 in Mexico City, above MKLeo, and I feel like that I'm really going to like him this year if he gets out to more tournaments. I just think that he has a really good job of showing himself as another possible between 40 and 50 PGR ranked Bayonetta if he makes it out to enough stuff. And finally, in that losers round 1, it's Tyroy v Javi. I have Tyroy winning that. I think I looked up sets, and Tyroy is like a 2-1 over Javi right now, but when Tyroy won, it was 3-0s, so I feel pretty confident in putting Tyroy out there. Next, I have Tweak versus Lima. I gave that to Tweak. I think Tweak just knows the Bayonetta matchup so well. Samsora versus 6WX. I gave to Samsora. I think Samsora is just the better overall player between the two. Ally versus MBD, I'm going to give the Ally. I think Ally is going to be on the rise this year, especially after that PAX South performance. He has some good momentum. Another upset that I'm going to put in the books is Anti versus Larry Lur. I expect Anti to win it. Anti, remember, as I mentioned before, his pop-off at Gommel for beating Larry Lur in finals. I really think that Larry's going to have a slow start this year, and I think Anti is going to do a good job of claiming himself as a top 16 player at this tournament. Esam versus Mistake is another upset where I think Esam's going to win. Esam is the Bayonetta slayer, I believe. I think he has a great shot against any Bayonetta except maybe Salem. And I don't know if that's Pikachu or his ability, or Esam's ability to DI out of Bayonetta situations, but I really think Esam has a good shot just knocking out any Bayonetta he runs into this year. Captain Zack versus Fallen, I give to Captain Zack. I just think Captain Zack's the better player. Mr. R versus Chag. Mr. R, I think, is pretty obvious. I really like the Sheik versus Bayo matchup for Sheik, and Mr. R is going to have a strong start. MKLeo versus Tyroy. I don't think MKLeo is going to lose to that kind of lower level player in the PGR. I think maybe top 30 and higher have a chance at beating him, but I would say after that, I don't think MKLeo is going to take many losses this year like he did at EVO when he got 65th. And now on back to winner side, we have Cosmos versus Wadi. I'm going to take Wadi here. I think Wadi and Cosmos are two players both competing for a top 10 spot this year. And I feel Wadi's going to win the first confrontation of what I think these guys may meet 5 or 6 times this PGR season alone. Because they are just two really good players that will be consistently fighting for spots in these top 16s. DeBuzz versus Locust, I think Locust finally gets dethroned at this point, and DeBuzz uses his Luma in order to get himself in the top 8. Salem versus Void, I'm giving this Salem. If you remember DreamHack Atlanta, Void got so close. And as much as I like Sheik against Bayo, I feel like Void is just missing something against Salem. And I don't know what it is. I don't think he knows what it is, but I think he's just missing it by a slim. I think he beat him at PAX South, but I think Salem's going to come back and take this one. Because I know I'm mentioning PAX South a lot, and that's because it was a really good tournament, and it's the only indication I have so far of 2018 of what players might do or how they might perform. But I will say that a lot of players, I feel, were just trying to get notes and so forth in order to study players harder. So I'm taking the PAX South wins with a grain of salt. Now, I'm not decrediting DeBuzz's win. I 100% think that was a credible victory. I know Cosmos was trying his hardest, and I really want to give credit to DeBuzz. But I will say to take with a grain of salt anything that happened at PAX South. And then Nairo versus Elegant, I'm going to give the Nairo. I don't think Elegant's Gimps with Luigi are going to be as effective against Zero Suit Samus. Let me get some water really quick. I'm at my parents' apartment in Pennsylvania. It's a really nice place, but I'm here for another week until I go back to college at Quinnipiac in Connecticut. I'm hoping to get to more Connecticut tournaments this season, but anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Genesis 5. Next up, I have a Tweak versus Samsora on losers round 3 of top 32. I gave that one to Tweak. I think Tweak's just a better player. Ally versus Anti. And Anti's going to probably throw out the secondaries this time, and I don't know if it's going to be enough. I know it was a close set against Ally when they played at PAX South, but I'm going to give it to Ally here with his good momentum. Another upset I have is Esam versus Captain Zach. If they played a lot in the past year. They played at Too Hot to Handle, Low Tier City 5, Famicom, and UGC. All those events, Esam beat Captain Zach. A couple of those were 3-0s, very noticeable 3-0s, and I think Esam, as I said, Bayo Slayer, I 100% would give this matchup to Esam for another PGR upset. Next we got Mr. R versus MK Leo, Smash Factor 5 kind of tournament, you know, bringing that back. I think MK Leo takes it. I don't think Mr. R is up to MK Leo's level, is all I'm going to say about that. Next up, we have a Locust versus Tweak. I'm going to say Locust's drive ends here, ending him at 9th place, and Tweak moves on the top 8. I don't think that Locust is as skilled as Tweak, and I feel that Cloud does a good job of challenging Ryu on most of his moves and his recovery as well. Cosmos versus Ally. This one was very up in the air for me. These are the two momentum players I'm talking about that I think have already come into the season with a great shot at being top 10 players again. Well, again for Ally, and for the first time for Cosmos. And I think I'm going to give this first one to Ally. I know it'll be a tough matchup, but I think Ally has a winning record over Cosmos, so I'm going to give it to Ally. Elegant versus Esam. I'm going to give it to Elegant. I know that Pikachu does a good job with recovery and all that, so Luigi Gibbs might not be as strong, but I feel that Elegant just is going to perform really well against Esam, and I think Elegant's going to get that top 8 spot to start pushing himself with momentum toward being a PGR top 10 player. As you can tell, with Zero gone, I think there's a lot of players pushing to be top 10 as well as number 1. And then Void versus MK Leo, a matchup that many people have seen before, and I'm going to give this one to MK Leo, so MK Leo makes top 8. That means we're seeing a top 8. On winner's side, we got Wadi and DeBuzz, and then Salem and Nairo. On loser's side, we got Tweak and Ally, and Elegant and MK Leo. So let's start with winner's side with this. Wadi versus DeBuzz. I gotta say that as much as I want Wadi to win, and I think Mewtwo does a pretty good job of handling Rosa, I'm going to give it to DeBuzz because I think his smarts are really going to lead him to this winner's finals. And I also want to say that DeBuzz recently graduated. I believe it was from Stony Brook University in New York. And I want to congratulate him on that. But he said that he's taking this next PGR season, I think, to focus more on esports and to focus more on Smash. And I feel that DeBuzz, more focused in on this tournament, is going to have a really good shot at winning it and possibly even being number 1 on PGR, as I mentioned earlier. The other matchup is Demon Salem versus Nairo, and I think Salem's going to take it. Nairo just can't seem to get past having to fight Salem. And I mean, I guess you got to beat the best to be the best, but it's so tough for Nairo to have to keep playing Salem to take these losses. It's got to be a heartbreaking for him. Loser side, we got Tweak versus Ally. I really think there's a good chance of an upset here with Ally winning it. Those Mario combos sometimes, man, can really get you, and I think Tweak is a bit rough around the edges right now. That 2GGC, I feel like, really deflated him a bit. So I feel like we're looking at a falling player and a rising player, and I think I'm going to give it to Ally here. MKLeo versus Elegant, it's a shame they have to play here. I think it's almost too early for them to play. But GTX rematch right here, and I think MKLeo is going to take it over Elegant. I mean, it was really close for me, but I'm going to give it to MKLeo, give him the benefit of the doubt here that he's going to prove that he belongs in that top 10 in the PGR. Now we got a Nairo versus Ally. I'm going to give it to Nairo. I feel that Mario is not a great character to be against ZSS. And for MKLeo versus Wadi, I'm going to give it to MKLeo. I feel Wadi still has a tiny bit of a way to go to become that top 10 player or to overtake MKLeo. So yeah, I'm going to give it to MKLeo there. Just going to check something over here. Man, I'm at 41 minutes. Don't worry, guys. I'm almost there. Next, we got a Nairo versus MKLeo. I'm going to give it to Nairo, and I would say that it's not a PGR upset, but it's kind of an upset because I'd be really surprised to see Nairo win this. But I feel that Nairo is going to have one of those games like Super Smash Con or MomoCon where he's really momentuming through the tournament and wins it. Oh, I guess I just blew the ending. I think Nairo's going to win the tournament. But I think Nairo really wants to take Zero's place as number 1, and I 100% think Nairo deserves it if he can do it. And then Nairo versus Salem I have Nairo actually winning this. If you remember at VGBC, Nairo took it to the last game of that after looking horrible throughout. I mean, I think Nairo was on winner's side, Salem was on loser side, and I think Nairo got 3-0'd, and then it was 3-2 at the end. I think Nairo was really starting to learn about Salem in that. I feel like if he's taken enough notes, Nairo can beat Salem. And I guess I did this in the wrong order, because I should have said winners finals, DeBuzz versus Salem. I have DeBuzz winning. I think DeBuzz does a good job against Bayos. But I think it ends with DeBuzz versus Nairo. And I'm going to say Nairo resets the bracket and then takes it. I want to give my approval that I think Nairo and DeBuzz are going to be the two battling out, and I think Genesis 5 is a great first chapter to show what the PGR is all about. Because let's look at these players. First Nairo, second DeBuzz, third Salem, fourth MKLeo, and fifth Ally and Wadi. I feel like that's a pretty nice gods list, and then you're sitting outside with, well, I would say Wadi's more of a god slayer, but Ally, MKLeo, Salem, DeBuzz, and Nairo being the gods seems reasonable. And then I have 7th, Elegant and Tweak, 9th, Locust, Cosmos, ESAM and Void, and 13th, Samsora, Anti, Captain Zack, and Fallen. I won't say that's not really huge upsets like crazy players. I'm sure more non-PGR are going to make top 16, but based on what I can predict reasonably, I feel that the only main person to talk about is Locust as being that top player. I have Locust being Javi, Larry Lur, and ESAM to finish 9th, while losing to Buzz and Tweak. Other noticeable players I would say to watch are Icy Mist, who I had being DSS, Sinji, and Konga to finish 25th while losing to Lima and Mistake. I have Rich Brown being Darkshad and Saj to get 25th and then losing to Ally and Fallen. I have Supergirl Kells being MBD and Legit to finish 25th while losing to Samsora and Chag. I have Chag being Dark Blues, Brood, Exax, and Supergirl Kells to finish 17th while losing to Raito Mr. R, and I have Javi being Kat, Sean, and Arvark to get 25th while losing the Locust and Tyroway. I'm just going to really quickly talk about the PGR, who I have missing the top 32 with this tournament. I have Darkshad losing to Rich Brown and 6WX to finish 33rd. Fatality losing to Arvark and Larry Lur to finish 33rd. AC losing the Exacts and Raito to finish 33rd, and Conga losing to MK Leo and Icy Mist to finish 33rd, as well as the disappointment of Larry Lurd, who I think is going to make top 32, but lose to Locust and Anti to get 17th. So I feel like that hovers over basically everything I wanted to talk about today. I'm just going to check to make sure there are no more comments before I sign off. It does not look like it. I hope everyone likes the new logo up there. I think it's a really cute logo that I made for myself. But yeah, so that is it for me. I hope you all had a good time watching. I hope you share this with your friends, tweet it, Facebook it, do whatever you can to show it online. I'd really appreciate it. So thank you and have a good day. And I will see you next time. I think the next time I'm going to stream is next week for Evo Japan. I don't know if it's going to be as in-depth as this one is. I know this one wasn't even really that in-depth either. But I don't think it's going to be as in-depth as this one because I'm probably not going to look at all 192 pools or whatever it is. 192 pools, I know. If you haven't heard, Evo Japan has 192 pools or something like that right now. Because there's like one good player in each pool. And it's absolutely crazy. It's like 8 players per pool. But, yeah, so until next time, guys, have a good one, and I am PK out. Peace. Why I'm missing the top 32 with this tournament. I have, Darkshad losing to Rich Brown and 6LUX to finish 33rd. Fatality losing to Aardvark and Larry Lurd to finish 33rd. AC losing to Exacts and Raito to finish 33rd. And Conga losing to MK Leo and Icy Mist to finish 33rd. As well as the disappointment of Larry Lurd, who I think is going to make top 32, but lose to Locust and Anti to get 17th. So I feel like that hovers over basically everything I wanted to talk about today. I'm just going to check to make sure there are no more comments before I sign off. It does not look like it. I hope everyone likes the new logo up there. I think it's a really cute logo that I made for myself. But yeah, so that is it for me. I hope you all had a good time watching. I hope you share this with your friends, tweet it, Facebook it, do whatever you can to show it online. I'd really appreciate it. So thank you and have a good day. And I will see you next time. I think the next time I'm going to stream is next week for Evo Japan. I don't know if it's going to be as in-depth as this one is. I know this one wasn't even really that in-depth either. But I don't think it's going to be as in-depth as this one because I'm probably not going to look at all 192 pools or whatever it is. 190 pools, I know. If you haven't heard, Evo Japan has 192 pools or something like that right now. Because there's like one good player in each pool. And it's absolutely crazy. It's like 8 players per pool. But, yeah, so until next time, guys, have a good one, and I am PK out. Peace. I'm missing the top 32 with this tournament. I have, Darkshad losing to Rich Brown and 6LUX to finish 33rd. Fatality losing to Aardvark and Larry Lurd to finish 33rd. AC losing... Whoa.